Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem longest repeating character replacement. The problem number 4 to 4, right? So what the question states here, we are given a string s of uppercase letters and an integer k. You can clearly see here we are given this one string s which consists of the uppercase characters. You can clearly see here, right? So and also the integer k. So this is the integer k. So we can change at most k characters in any substring. So here we can change at most k characters means accordingly with the example, accordingly with the k here, we can change two characters in the s, right? So we can change at most k characters in any substring to make all the characters in that substring the same, right? We can change at most k characters in any substring to make all the characters in that substring the same. We have to return the maximum length of such substring possible after performing the changes. After performing the changes, we have to return the maximum length of such substring possible. So here we can replace this one b with the a's or a's with the b's, right? So k equals 2. There is no restriction that we have to change this character itself, right? So either we can change uh, b, we have two b's and two b's can be changed to a, or just give me a second here. Yeah, we can change two b's to two a's, then it will be a, right? So or we can change two a's to two b's, then it will be bb. So all the characters will be same in this case, right? Either we can do this or we can do this or we can do this, right? So maximum length that we got here is, if you count for both, it will be 4 itself. 4 itself, right? So I hope this example is completely clear. Here they have given in the explanation as well, replace the two a's with the two b's or vice versa, right? So let's come to the second example. Here we have k equals 1, and here we can do one thing. We can replace this b with a or this a with b. Both will lead us. So here when we change the first b with a, it will be a a a a double b a, right? So we have just changed the third b to a, right? So this one I'm speaking of. And or we can do one thing, we can change this a, right? This a to b. So this will be a b double b double b, then a. So we can just consider this character, right? Or we can just consider this one. Either we can consider both are of the length 4. So we need to return length 4 here, right? So replace the one a's in the middle with b's and form the this one as I've showed. This one they have given, and or the substring this one bb has the longest repeating characters, which is 4. So there is this way. The second way also we have this way, right? We can do this or we can do this, right? Both will give us the length 4, right? So we need to return the length here. In this case it will be 4. For the example 1 also we got output as 4, and for the example 2 also we got output 4 accordingly with the k, right? So I hope the question part is completely clear along with the examples, easy to understand, right? So the question itself, I mean the name of the question itself suggests that we have to go with the longest repeating character replacement, right? So I hope the question part is completely clear. So first, what shall we do? Let's discuss the approach followed by the edge cases, followed by complexities, and then let's write the code. First, initially, what shall we do? Let's discuss the approach, right? So here, first, what we'll do, let's consider this first example. So let's consider this first example, right? So here, uh, we will be going with the sliding window approach. Just keep this in mind. We will be going with the sliding window approach, right? With the two pointers, with the help of two pointers, we'll be going with the sliding window approach. So first what we'll do, we have this one characters a b a b, right? First what we will do, we will set a right pointer. Suppose consider left, we have the right and the this one left pointer. Initially both will point to the same, and right will be at the 0 as well, right? So max count is 1 here. In this case max count is 1, and window length is also 1, and window length is also 1. So this is said to be valid. And again we'll move the right pointer. We'll keep the left pointer there itself. We'll move the right pointer. Right pointer will be 1 now. So now we have b, right? So now we have b. The max count of b is also 1 here in this case. So window length will be 2. So just give me a second here. Window length will be quite obviously 2 here. This one I'm speaking of. Here window length will be 1. This one is window length is 1 and this is set to be valid. And here window length is set to be 2. This is set to be valid as well, right? So next what we will do, right will be let me delete this one. So right, this one, first window was valid, second window length 2 was also valid. Now let's consider right equals 2. Right equals 2. So now we have we are going with ab, right? So first ab we have already considered, third one we will consider now. So right will be 2, maximum count will be 2. Maximum count will be quite obviously 2. We have considered this one already. So maximum count is 2 because we already had a maximum length was 1, maximum count was 1 for this one, maximum count was 1 for this, these two, right? So we have already done that one. So here maximum count 2 because this got repeated basically, right? Maximum count is 2. And this one, window length equals 3. Now we have considered 3, this one, 3 characters, right? Now we have considered 3 characters and this is valid as well. Finally what we will do, we'll go with right equals 3 and maximum count equals 2 again. Why it is 2? B got repeated again here, right? Maximum count is 2 basically, right? This is fine. So what we'll do, we'll update the window length to 4. We have considered all the 4 characters. Now we have considered all the 4 characters and this is valid because maximum count we have got 2 and k is 2 and the maximum count it shouldn't increase more than 2, right? It shouldn't increase more than 2. So this is said to be valid as well. So final answer that we got here is window length 4. This one here, window length 4, right? This one we will return this one as output. We will return this one as output. 4 we got as output, which is equivalent to the output that they have given for the example one. This itself we will return as output, right? So I hope this part is completely clear. This is how we made use of the sliding window approach, right? So the output that we got is 4, which is equivalent to the output that they have given for the first example. So I hope this part is completely clear. Let's quickly discuss the complexities, right? So what would be the time complexity and the space complexity? The time complexity would be big of n here. The time complexity would be big of n because each character is visited at most twice, right? Because once by right, once by left, I'm speaking of once by right and once by left, each character is visited at most twice. So time complexity would be big of n. And what would be the space complexity here? Big of 1. You would have already guessed because we are making use of the constant space, right? So we'll be going with the 26 element frequency array. This one you will be you'll know once we write the code. Let's go with the 26 element frequency array, a to z, right? So the overall space complexity would be big of 1. So we know that here either it will be big of I mean a to z will be using, right? Characters a to z from this one, only capital letters they have given. So we can just make use of the 26 element frequency array, right? So the space complexity would be quite obviously we'll be making use of the constant space, so the space complexity would be big of 1. So the time complexity would be big of n for the code that we'll be writing, and the space complexity would be big of 1, right? So I hope the complexities part is completely clear along with the approach. As we are completely familiar with the approach and complexities, let's start writing the code, right? First step here is let's declare the this one frequency array for a to z. So I'll just give here int count equals new int of 26. This is fine. So the next step here is let's go with the frequency, I mean max frequency of a single character in the current window. This will be int max count equals 0. And let's go with the left pointer of the sliding window, and also we have to consider result to store the maximum valid window length. That's what we discussed in the approach. So left pointer, let me initialize left pointer to 0, and the final one is we need to store the result, we need to store the maximum valid window length somewhere, right? So here let's do one thing. I'll just consider max length equals 0. So this is fine. So next, let's go with the iteration part here. So this one, we accordingly with the approach, we are moving the right pointer, right? So we'll keep the first left pointer at the initial this one index, and then we will move the right pointer from the zeroth index, right? From 0 to 1 to 2, then 3. So accordingly with the first example I'm speaking of. So here in this case, it will be int right equals 0, right less than length, and finally right plus plus. We have incremented the right. So we have to check for all the elements in the array, right? So this is fine. So within the for loop, we have to increment the frequency of the current character if we find any. So in this case, I can just write in this way s dot. So I'll just make use of the caret right hyphen. This one will be a. This is fine. We have to increment, so let me give plus plus here. This is fine. So after this step, let's update the maximum frequency in the window. So this will be max count equals math dot max of this one max count itself. So let me pass max count here, and this one. So I have to go with count of. So let's make use of caret here. Caret right, we have to go with the maximum count here, right? Hyphen a here. I hope this part is clear. So we are just updating the maximum frequency in the window. So easy, right? So next step is if the number of characters to change is greater than k, then we have to shrink that window, right? So if the number of characters should not exceed, right? So the number of characters should not exceed the one that we need to change, right? So if the number of characters to change is greater than k, then we have to shrink that particular window. So I can just write it in this way: while right minus left plus 1 here minus max count greater than k. So within this while loop, we have to remove the leftmost character of the window first. So I can just articulate the same thing in the form of code in this way. I'll just give here s dot caret. So this one will be left hyphen a. So this is fine, man. What is this? Yeah, a. This is fine. Yeah, this part is fine. So let's increment the left here. Let's increment the left here means we are moving the window forward. We are moving the window forward, right? So this is fine. The next step is we have to update the result with current window size. So I can just give here max length equals math dot max length comma, this will be right minus left plus 1. This is fine. The final step here would be we have to return the max length means I'll just give here return max length. So this is it for the code. Easy, right? So let me format the code once and let me hit the run button. I hope this works. Let's see. So we have the compiler here. Cannot find the symbol. What's wrong here? So we have considered max length. Why I have given max length line number 16? So yeah, this has to be max length, not the max length entire. Let me run this again. Again we have, so here also. Yeah. Line number 18 as well. So I should have changed here itself max length instead of changing 3 times here, right? So this is fine. So now you can clearly see the sample test cases are getting passed. So let me hit the submit button quickly. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed, means the code works absolutely correct in this case. So I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the approach and complexities. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.